How do you see it?
Well, I think Donald Trump did nothing of what Lindsay just described. I think this is kind of a fake controversy because people on the left or people who don't like Trump don't want to discuss Kamala Harris's record on immigration, Kamala Harris's record on Black Lives Matter, bailing those violent criminals who were torching our cities out of prison.
He should have mentioned that.
Well, listen, he treated that journalist the same way that he treats every other mainstream media fake news journalist. So, I mean, she was lousy to him, so he called her out. I mean,
she did the job, Liz. You know that's what he does.
Hilarious.
That's what he does to everybody.
People for things like, oh, you're 30. Yeah, he does. And I think that's funny. I don't think you have to be ideologically aligned with him to think that he's just hysterical when he was like, oh, you were 35 minutes late. But listen, there's something that's worth noting here, and this is part of the strategy of his campaign. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent. Voters of any political stripe dislike politicians who they deem to be untrustworthy. They dislike politicians who they believe pander, and they dislike politicians who race bait. So what Donald Trump was doing is he actually didn't bring this up. This was something, if you look at the Associated Press back in 2016, they had a headline about Kamala Harris being the first Indian American senator. Fast forward to 2020, they're highlighting that she's black. They didn't mention the biracial aspect, sure, but they didn't mention the other part of her biracial aspect in either one. And I think what it highlights is that the left uses race to be politically expedient, and voters don't like that. Kamala Harris went in front of a group of black people and talked with an accent that she never uses, which shows that she is trying to pander to them, using race to pander to them, which people don't like. So, yeah, Donald Trump, this was a strategic move from Donald Trump. It's nothing of what the left and some on the right who don't like Trump is portraying.
I think it comes down, Liz, to which people...
If you don't think this is funny, you need to enjoy life more.
Well, it's not funny because it's not about you, okay? If it were about you and kind of making a joke of what you hold close to yourself, like I said in my open, you won't hear him saying this about Tiger Woods, right? He loves Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods talks about being Chinese, talks about being black. Trump's never said anything except he's an amazing guy because he doesn't want people to dislike him. So, Rina,
you saw that video of Kamala Harris using that accent. Is that the way that she normally speaks?
Look, the idea that Kamala Harris being in front of a Southern or a black or an Italian, if you don't think politicians play to their crowd, watch any Republican. Liz, this is the difference. This is the difference between being a pundit and being someone who's been in campaigns. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, because I actually know the answer to this question. Okay, I've been around this literally my entire life. Republican, Democrat doesn't make a damn difference. You put that guy in a black church, you're going to hear call and response. Can I get an amen? People play to their audience. That's what politicians do.
That's what I was saying before.
Harris is black. It's pandering when I do it, Liz. She's black. It's not pandering when you are that thing.
It's not the voice that she usually uses. She's doing it in a way that's pandering to people based on race. I mean, I know
if you're upset about pandering, I want to get to Rina. But if you're upset about pandering,
I mean, you heard her.
If you are upset about pandering, then say, Mr. Trump, please don't make me look bad by pretending that biracial isn't a thing. Please don't do that. It makes us all look bad. Rina, what's the strategy point?
Look, as a political strategist, one thing I always tell my clients to do is to read the room. When you're in a room, you want to find common ground. So what do? If you lean into one part of your heritage and you don't lean into another, it doesn't mean you're rejecting that other part of yourself. As a biracial person, it's complicated. Look, I have Indian heritage. I'm the daughter of immigrants from India and Uganda. And people, when they see me, they're like, where are you from? I'm like, Southern West Virginia. I'm born and raised in the coal fields. No, where are you really from? And I to that because I am from the southern foothills of the mountains of Appalachia. And if you look at me and you see that I don't have white skin, you're othering me. So what I want to say here is that I found what Donald Trump did on stage to be really antithetical to conservatism, because the Republican Party I came up in and helped advise and work for members of Congress for was essentially telling me that we're going to look at you, Rina Shah, on your merit, on what you've accomplished, not who you're the daughter of or what your skin color is or your origin story. We're going to just take you for what you have accomplished, where you want to go, what you've done, these kinds of things. And that's what I felt when he did that. Listen, I understand. Good. Here, I've heard this from other South Asian Americans. Fine. She leaned into her Indian heritage when she was running for Senate. But what's wrong with that? She's partly Indian.
Right.
And now she wants to lean into her blackness. That's okay by me as somebody who's of Indian heritage, because I don't know what it's like to be biracial. The Republican Party I came up in told me that I could be anything, that I defined myself, that I didn't need to fit other people's identity boxes for myself, that I define who I am, because that is what being American is.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.